Hi, I'm attorney Mario Correa, and recently had a client come in and had the misfortune of going with an attorney who had selected the wrong form when preparing their estate plan. And the real problem was that they didn't understand the trust. And the reason is that they were using concepts and ideas that come from what's called community property states. Here in Illinois, we're a common law state. The form indicated there were a couple different things that were unique to the form that really triggered and how made difficulties in how to interpret it. First, it used the concept of community property. So it transferred what they called tenancy by the entirety property one way, community property another, and yet separate property a third way. And the problem with doing that is community property has a certain meaning in community property states where that form was originally from. So Illinois doesn't have the concept of community property. Second, separate property does have meaning in Illinois when it deals with divorce, but with not estates. It does have meaning in community property states. So once again, we don't know what was the intent of the initial form because the form didn't apply to the laws of Illinois. And this was a family that had never lived in a community property state. So the lesson here to be learned is, when you go with an attorney that doesn't do a lot of estate planning, the problem is that they can rely on the wrong form. And then the lesson for us to learn as consumers of legal products is to remember, you should be able to understand what's going on. You should have the attorney be able to explain it to you. Our process, not only do we prepare forms and send them to you, we actually always use a separate independent meeting to go over the documents so that you can read them. You should be able to read it. It should be clear. You should be able to see, I give the assets to my spouse, and you should be able to see where that is. I give the estate to my children in equal shares, if that's what you want to do. You should be able to read that. It should be understandable. In our forms, in our documents, what we do is we make sure that our legalese and the complicated provisions are in the back of the trust. In the front of the trust, we purposefully make it very readable for the client so you know exactly what's going on. If you have further questions, you can give me, Mario Correa, a call at 773-489-8500.